Hello.
Bridget, welcome.
Yes. You are Srishti?
Yeah,
Srishti?
Christy. Yes, that's right. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
So, yeah, this is your first time here. I haven't seen you before. Are you new to your tactics or?
Oh no, I started I have to put headphones on because the sound is very bad. I started in 2011
Wow.
and
Yes.
I never became a practitioner.
Yeah,
Um,
that's okay.
but I almost never stopped doing swaps.
That's
And last year I re-updated my level 3 practitioner, and
that's
I've done
amazing.
many, I've done many seminars with Robert,
Yes.
twice, 3 times,
Oh, that's
level one,
amazing.
three, level 1 to 3 in Greece, in Spain,
Good
in
job.
Germany.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
But now I have lost my interest, my passion. But I thought Happy Journal would be good because I've I've never really used it.
Yes.
I had
Yes, I
one.
hear you.
I used it during the swaps,
Yeah.
but I never really stick to it and write. I stopped completely writing down the events I enjoy being. I say, what's the point? A bit like that. What's the point? So I thought
Yeah.
that would be good to join those meetings. Mm.
Definitely. Thank you for joining because, yeah, that's what I feel like, it's just life goes by and then, it just time goes by and we don't write down and record our happy life, happy things in the life.
Mm-hmm.
And so definitely I was like, okay, I need to do it for myself. So it'll help everyone else
Mm-hmm.
too, hopefully. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for joining. Hey, Alicia, you made it.
Yes, I'm still having technical difficulties, but um, I I'm I have a session as soon as this finishes, and
Okay.
I got up late, so here. I'm in support of you. I love your sprout, and it's very cute. I'm really good at the negative aspect of life, and I know I need this. This is right where I need to be, and I don't want to miss it.
Definitely.
I, so I've had you on the calendar and on other session or meeting times for this, and I'm terrible with time management, but I'm getting better. So I'm glad I made it.
I'm glad you made it too. And yes, definitely it's perfect to just, get together once a week at least and just work on the happy journals. And it'll be perfect to go from here into your session as well,
Okay.
so you're in that good mindset, you got your happy memories fresh, and that
Yes.
that supports fast changes, certainly.
Nice. And you know what? Is it Brigitte or Bridget? How does she
Brigitte,
say
I'm
Brigitte? Oh,
French. Brigitte. Mm.
Brigitte. I've got a girlfriend that's named Bridget, and I call
Mm-hmm.
her Brigitte all the time. But I really like what you said about. I didn't. It's not that I really liked it, but I related to you saying you lost your passion. So
Mm.
I'm glad that you're here too.
Yes, it's also because I'm retired now, and I always wanted to become a practitioner, but then my mom became how do you say, she could not take care of herself. So with my sister, we took care of mom. And so as I was taking care of my mom, I did not feel like taking care of other people, because it was emotionally, it was very, very hard. And now I'm 72, and I thought, well, it would be maybe time that I start living for myself, and I lost my mom. She died 4 weeks ago now, she was 97.
Oh, I'm
Wow.
So she
sorry.
had a great life, and it
Yes.
was time because she was in such a, she was not sick, but she had lost all her energy, and she had dementia. So she
Mm.
would not talk, she would not. That was very, very hard. And for her, she would just lay in her bed, and that was very sad, And we
Yeah.
could not communicate anymore, just hold her hand and feel love and compassion. And now she's not there, and I think, well, now I'm free to do what I want, but I it's like I'm lost. I don't know where to start. I don't things I used to do, I don't feel like doing them anymore. So I thought, oh, a picture like that would be good.
The journal is a perfect place to start, Brigitte. After all that,
Yeah.
you went through a lot, taking care of mom for a long time,
Hmm.
certainly. And, with Happy Journal, we are revisiting the happy times. And, maybe you can even start a happy journal of mom, just writing down her
Yes.
happy times
Yes.
with her.
Oh, yes,
That's how
because
you want to remember.
yeah, we had a
Yeah.
very nice. How do you say? When she left, we 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 had pictures, and so it reminds us of plenty of memories with her because she was very curious. She was enjoying life. She was curious. She liked to travel, to visit things, and so many memories came back. And
Yeah,
with
that's
her
beautiful.
smiling face when she was happy, and yeah, yeah, I could put some photos of her in my happy
Oh,
journal.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you want to remember mom by all the happy times you had with her.
Yes, because we traveled together. She wanted to visit Rome, Lisbon, but my dad did not want to go, and he did not want her to go by herself. She was already 90. So we went to different places together, and so we had great time.
Sounds like you had an adventurous mom.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, let's get started on working on our happy journals together.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm kind of gathering around for my day because I got up late, but I didn't want to miss this. And
Oh,
so
no, no problem. Yes.
one thing that I feel there's a resistance to the Happy Journal is my time management, my organizational skills just are in they're in the tank. Um, I would I, the idea of adding another book, because I'm in level one and I have my books are all over the place. I tried several different things to try to condense them and get it to some orderly fashion because I'm very much a Libra and I like things pretty and
Yeah.
organized and tidy. And when they're not, which is my whole life, I mean, this where my life is, um, I don't want to look at it. And that's what I'm finding. I have pushed through that and I'm making another attempt, uh, uh, very motivated to do this. So I'm not, I've been in level one. I just passed my 1 year mile marker. So now I mean, I've been tapping all along, but I am really making a stronger effort. And so, but again, the point I wanted to get at was that I have kind of struggled with the idea of another journal. And
Yeah.
so I kind of
Yeah.
wanted to just enjoy, like maybe kind of observe and see, like maybe you could talk about, um, I know what we put in there. I know and I have happy memories, but can you talk about or show a little bit of some maybe examples of yours or talk about how you've, how I might overcome that and how you do yours and
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Having more books, and especially when you have stuff all over the place.
mhm.
Um, so I totally understand, because I have the same. It's like, oh, there's so many, there's this and there's that, but also, um, So I've had several versions of my happy journal. So I've had just just a regular notebook, writing things down in that, and then or like trying to get a special book. Okay, this is my special beautiful journal. Um, you know, so that I can make it special. But, what I'm trying to do, just have a journal that has like just a regular, and then somebody also said that, they just get a cheap notebook, just cheap notebook so that it doesn't become special and reverent. It's like you're not it's like making it special. You just are in the habit of
Oh,
just writing in it all the time. And I
right.
like just keeping a small notebook in my purse as well. And especially if I'm
Okay.
going on a trip, so I can, write things down and all that. But one of the most important one that I find that has been with me for now, I think I write on right now since I joined Utaptics, I'm like day 1000, I don't know, 1125 is on my phone. It's
Oh,
a
wow.
gratitude, it's a gratitude app. And I write in it every day, every night before going to bed. That's my ritual. Even if it's one line, something good that happened, something I'm grateful towards, something that was happy, I put it down in that. So if you don't want to have more journals, you don't want to have books laying around, you have it on your phone.
Okay.
And
I'll
there's
try
different
that.
applications, yes.
What
Um,
is what is this gratitude app?
the one I'm using is called Presently. And it's
Presently.
really presently. It's very simple. It doesn't have too much fancy stuff. Um, but then the 5 minute, there's another one, it's called the 5 minute journal app. In that you can actually add pictures,
Oh
there's
yeah,
more things to it.
yeah, that's too complicated for me.
Yeah, I presently is very simple. It's just you just write a few lines,
Yes,
few
but
words,
I'm not.
whatever.
I'd rather print a photo and put it in,
Yeah,
so that I can scroll through it. I'm
yes,
I'm sometimes
I
I'm a
hear
bit
you.
fed up with all the technology stuff.
I
And
know. Exactly. I don't like to have that as my happy journal, but it ends up being more regular for me because I don't have to
Mhm,
like go and look for my journal. I just don't have
yeah,
to have by my bed. I can just like, in the night write down. But like
yes,
for my happy journal, I have this
Mm.
folder that I can just rearrange the pages if I want and have
Oh, nice.
pictures. I
yeah.
just do make some paintings and I just write.
Mhm.
So
Beautiful.
it becomes little memories, and I like to write it in colored pens. It just makes me happy. I just put different little notes from somebody, greeting cards. I can put all that in there.
Nice.
Mm.
So it's a folder. It's a folder, and I know it's bulky, but also I can move things around. Um, I feel like I can find things easier in it because it's so big.
Yeah.
And it just makes me happy. Yeah.
Yeah. I started
Kind
with
of,
a nice little notebook, but then I put on, tickets from theaters or dance
yeah.
festivals or whatever. And here I have a big picture that's too big. And so now and then after a while, when you have too many pictures or stickers or whatever, it does not fit into it. So a folder is good, better idea.
I
But
that's the reason I did do the folder, yeah.
mhm,
So it's
yeah.
like big pictures and greeting cards, I can fit them in there.
So does this mean that we have to start all over again our happy journal?
No, it's up to you. I I had like in a notebook and I'm just
Uh-huh.
transferring all those to this folder. So that's just me. But I get to revisit them again, so I don't mind. So that's what I'm working on right now, just moving everything into this. And then I
Mm.
go through my phone, all the photographs I take, of the happy times and, like with family or with my kids or like any happy places, um, I like to go to national parks, so all the pictures from there, so I can keep track of it's like anything I missed, I can say, okay, yeah, I didn't put that in my happy journal, so I can write that down and maybe print out the photograph and put that in there, etc. So I like doing that. So it's like my pictures on my phone, they go in the Google Photos. So that becomes my happy journal as well. So just scrolling through the pictures and yeah. So that's the reason I went to the folder, because I can put big things in it, but it's entirely, personal, whatever works, whatever we are regular with, whatever we feel like we can just do regularly. And Bridget, it's like, it's okay if yours is big and things are popping out. It feels loved. It's like, okay, yes, look at that. She's putting all those happy things in there. For me, it's like, oh, I have to make an effort. But, I like that you just put them in there and they're all together. It's
Yeah,
all
I have to
good.
start again to make a new one. Yeah, because I think this one stopped a few years ago already.
Uh-huh.
Maybe not completely, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. Yeah. Mm.
Well, it's nice that this
When
class
I
is
open it,
small.
I find today I feel
Yes.
grateful because, and it's very hard for me to do the great, how do you say, the gratitude thing. You know, I think it's a
Yeah.
training, and I have to think about it. But it's often hard for me to find things that I'm happy with.
Yeah. You know, that's I'm glad that I got into the habit of putting my gratitude in my
Yeah.
phone. It keeps, or you can put it by your bed,
Mm,
a journal, a paper journal. Um, but once I was in a bad place and I was angry and I was hurt and I was like on probably day, I don't know, like 50, 60, 70, I don't know. And I was excited about like, just doing it every day. And that day I was like, I have nothing to be grateful about today. I am mad. I am hurt. Life is not fair. And, it's always about the other people, right? They are this way and that's just not right. And, it's like, but wait a minute. I don't want to let that stop me from writing in my happy journal. So I just took that event, I tapped through it and tapped on it, and I felt better, and then I was able to write in my happy
mm.
journal. So that became a tool for me to self-regulate, to check on where I
Yes.
am. And then always, okay, even if nothing happened, I was just working hard all day long, but I can find even like a few words, like just one sentence. I can put that
Mm.
down. It just keeps me in check of my inner
Yes.
inner
Yeah.
world.
And I
Yeah.
can imagine it can makes me do things that I don't feel like doing because, for example, today I was just completely down, did not want to do anything. But and I think, oh, I have to write something in my in my journal, so maybe just clean one room or do something, or in the garden, go do something so that I can be happy with, after. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. Or just I'm grateful for the sun shining or the beautiful weather.
yeah.
Or right now I'm grateful for the rain. We had rain last night, so it's like, yes,
Oh yeah,
you
we had
know?
rain.
Yeah. So, even if it's something small, that just
Yes. But sometimes you
brings
have
us
to
to a
find
place.
5 things. So
No, I don't do
okay, the
that.
sun, the
I
rain, and then after.
And that's a good thing too. Yeah, if you want to do that, it's like, okay, I'm gonna write down 5 things. That's good
Mm,
too. Sometimes I just write down one small thing, a few
mhm.
words.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, oh, it's getting late. I don't have time. I just put a few words down,
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah. So I think it's just a good practice.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
Alicia,
agree.
does that answer your question in
Yeah,
some
and
ways?
yeah, and I know that this is something that we should be better at, or to be happier. to have a more peaceful, wonderful life, this shouldn't be so dang hard. I think
So,
practicing the alternate is the big part of the problem, of many.
yes,
But
yes.
I can practice complaining and negativity so simply. And when we come to this, I thought, oh, I need to go see what Shristi's doing and what other people might be doing, and it feels awkward. Even, I mean, sure, I can recount positive. I've got. I was writing some happy memories. I'm switching them over also to a different format, kind of into my notebook. Um, and I was like, wow, I've got a lot of happy memories there. And um, I also, which I was happy about. My other thing is that this is what I find my mind doing, and maybe you could offer a little bit of a tip if you've dealt with this. Is, for example, a family time. This is what I find my mind will do, is that oh, those are beautiful pictures. And then, but in my mind is saying, she'll be dead in a few years, she'll be gone. Oh, there's like, I go to the sadness,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
So
and,
like,
and I
mhm,
ruin the moment, instead of
mhm.
being able to cherish, oh, that was a wonderful time. I go right to the future. I mean, we're all going to die. Why am I focused on this? You know, um, but that's what I find my mind doing. So I just wanted to ask if you might have any um, tips, or you've ever uh, had that experience.
Yeah. Um, so when that comes up, um, if there could be resources for that from somewhere, maybe you learned that, maybe somebody passed away and you were hurt about that. So there might be hurts attached to it in the past. Um, I don't know. Does that make sense? Is there any resources there that need to be cleaned up, perhaps?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry, my
You
dog
know what
was
I mean?
coughing in the back. Yeah.
That's okay.
Um, yes, I've had experienced several sudden deaths. Okay, that's
Yes.
a good
So
thing
that's
to know.
something you want to clean up on. And then soon as you notice that thought, and your conscious mind knows that yes, you would like to cherish that. You would like to cherish that moment. But the unconscious thought, the first thought that comes up is like, oh, they'll be dead in a few, whenever, at any moment, right?
But in a
So
way, is that me just trying to make it positive to be more appreciative of, they're not, we don't last forever, take advantage of the moments. I guess I
yeah,
feel like, but at the same time, then it's like, then I start thinking about they'll be missing from the future. That's maybe,
yeah.
but
So the unconscious mind is always trying to keep us safe, right?
right.
And it's like it's okay, the way I am seeing it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know exactly where it's coming from. But the unconscious mind is trying to keep us safe. So the more you cherish and the more you love somebody while they're here, the more we get attached to them, right? And then
Right.
they will be gone, and then our conscious mind is like, but they're gonna die, so I better not
Oh,
create that
right.
closeness. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's the unconscious mind, and that's the resource in there that needs to be cleaned up, right? Because we all gonna die, but we always can cherish and love them, and we don't have to be hurt when they die. We can still remember them by the happy memories, by the happiness they gave us,
Right. Yeah, I
right?
think there's something in there with me now that we're talking, that
Mm-hmm.
I, going back to the family, you can't have too much fun because
Yes.
there's terrible stuff coming. Don't have fun. Don't get too happy. So, um,
Yeah, that's a resource there that needs to be cleaned up, certainly.
okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
making a note. So, okay.
definitely. That's a good
Thank
thing to
you.
clean up, certainly. Yes. Yeah. Yes. You're welcome. Mhm. All right. Now, Alicia, as you notice those things that come up from your unconscious mind, you can also just like, as soon as you notice that there's that thought, just stop in the moment because that's when the biggest healing will come. Just tap in the moment. You can tap, you can just step out of that in any way you can. You can put on a happy video or whatever it is, do something fun, do something good for you, and then just change that thought to I can cherish the moment. I can be in the moment
Yes.
because
I,
because yeah, because the
well,
past doesn't exist and the future doesn't exist. Right now is the moment.
right. Well, and it's something in the tapping because I've tapped a lot um, and I'm not done tapping on
Yeah.
some sudden deaths, but I never looked at the angle of the idea of uh, tapping on the unexpected part of it because I think that's what's coming in here and in this
Yes.
is because when we started and you were showing and I thought of uh, happy family moments and thinking of the pictures I'd taken as you were describing, things to include. Um, and that was the first thing that came to my mind was that's what I think of when I look at pictures. Like I don't even like to look at pictures anymore because many of the people at first they're gone, or they will be. You know, my mom's getting up there in age,
Yeah.
and it's just so. Um, I can see my mind is very efficient, like Robert says. It's working great. It is.
Yeah.
It's functioning perfectly like it's programmed to. And it, I think it's a testament that the Happy Journal class is so small. And this is where we really, really need to immerse ourselves in is practicing being happy and
Yeah.
yet it's so hard. I mean, I feel almost to tears at the idea of it, of being happy. And um, that, well, no wonder I'm struggling in life.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't think I'm alone. I don't think I'm alone in this. So I really do hope to make the commitment to be here every week because I know that this
Great.
is the magic. This is the magic where we find a way to because this is where we want to be instead of harboring all these old
No,
negative paths. Right, isn't that the idea?
that's the idea. Because happiness is our natural state. Joy is is the natural state. Because if we just can be in the present moment and notice what's going on and notice the beauty of life and even the sadness of life. But if we can just be in the present moment, we can just observe, then, and we're not coming from the hurts of past or the fears of future, then life is joyful, right?
Right,
Life can be happy no matter what's going on.
right.
And then, yeah, exactly.
I think the past, my past has been so traumatic that it's like almost every joyful moment, it's very, you have to, it's like a sliver amidst
Yes,
trauma or,
yes,
so I have to like dig it out of those, uh, traumatic moments. And I think that's part of my resistance.
yes, of course, definitely.
Do you
Yeah. So as
find
you, mhm.
you're after your practice of all the days in your journal at night on your phone, do you find that comes more naturally for you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Then we can look for the good things in the day. Yeah, I mean, it's not like all my days are perfect. I'm triggered here and there by people, but just as I sit down in the night to just write a few words, I'm looking for the positive.
So you're
So yeah,
finding that you're instead of maybe thinking about what bad things happened, are you finding yourself that you're now developed this habit and this muscle, the happy muscle, that you're finding yourself thinking about those good things instead
I
of
think
the
it's,
old?
I think it's the muscle is always developing and we can always keep working on that muscle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's good days, there's bad days, and it's about self-regulation. So like in the moment, when we are getting triggered, noticing, soon as we can notice that trigger, we can step out of it. It's like, oh, I am actually getting triggered by somebody. Instead of being in, you know what I mean? The difference
Yes.
is being in it and then or stepping out of it and it's like we can point to it. It's like, oh, I'm actually getting triggered. So
Okay.
that's when we can just step out of it, tap on it. Because if we are triggered, we are like just in, below the surface, then it's hard. But I think with practice, it comes easier.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think for me, the thing that made the difference is um there's a couple things like Tony Robbins says, sadness comes from just thinking about ourselves. You know what I mean? So when we are
Yeah.
like always like, oh, when we and I totally I'm with you. I was that and I am that still sometimes. When big things come, it's like, oh, they did this to me and this happened to me and poor me, all that and or
Hmm.
anger and stuff. It's like I'm thinking about myself, right? Um, and
Oh, but
we
I can feel pain for other people. I find
yeah,
wherever the pain is, I can get, like even Brigitte talking about, losing her mom. I was
yeah,
feeling, yeah, oh,
yes, yes, yeah.
but
Um,
I do think it must come back to somehow it affects how it affects
it
me. I
does.
don't know.
It is because if we have pain inside of us, that gives us an opportunity to feel the pain.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? That's what
oh,
Robert
yeah.
says. The pain is inside of us, but when we're feeling the pain for the others, it's just our own pain that we're feeling. It's
Mm,
it's different from compassion. Compassion is like I feel for you and we can hold space for the others. We can see, okay, yes, they are hurt. They have their own issues. Yes, they are hurt. And I can hold space for them. That's compassion, right? But if
okay,
we are suffering with them, then it's our own pain that we are suffering with.
okay.
And I know it can sound harsh. Um,
It makes sense.
and yeah, and if we're judging ourselves for not feeling the pain for others, I, there's those things that, we should be feeling the pain for others, and there's all these shoulds and should nots.
Right.
But, there's also that perhaps, we can choose to believe that joy is our natural state and happiness is our natural state. And it doesn't have to be like, oh yeah, I'm happy and happy, happy. But, joy is something different. Joy is that just a joy in our heart. And
Right.
we can be sad, but we can still have joy,
Right.
you know? So when we can step out of those pains and we can be there for people, and that way we can have compassion for ourselves too, if we can step
Okay.
out of that. I think the compassion for ourselves and compassion for others, I think that's where a lot of healing starts as well.
Okay. Would
Not,
you say
yeah,
a moment, say for example, I experienced something interaction with my a family member,
yes,
and I didn't get caught up in it. I stepped back, and the thought was, I forgive myself, was that crossed my mind. Maybe that's the beginning of self-compassion. I don't
yeah.
have many moments of that, but that's what I'm asking as I'm starting to see those.
I think that's beautiful. And when you are in the trigger, you can, in feeling bad or feeling hurt, or when you look at the family members and pictures and you're like, oh, but they're gonna die, right? There's those thoughts
Right.
come up. Get in the habit of turning them into positive what if questions. So what if I can just cherish the moment right now? What if the more I cultivate happiness um, in the moment, the more I can remember them in the future with happiness? What if the more I look at happy, the more I multiply the joy in my life? I don't know, just ask positive what if questions. And that gets that unconscious mind thinking in a positive direction.
I love that. And
Yeah, I
I
think that's
feel
powerful.
when I popped on and I see there's, just a couple people, I'm like, oh my God, I really did expect to see more people because I know I don't know how to be happy. I don't. And this should be a full 50 people class, where it's like we got a wait list to get in.
Well, people are on different time zones. They have different things going on. It's a
True.
weekday. It's, the first one I had, I think 6, 7, 8 people. And then mostly it's been small, which is nice. I don't mind, I want to do it for myself, I'm doing it for myself,
Right?
And
Nice.
just providing that space for others to join in because I know how it is. Keeping up with Happy Journal because we get caught up in life. There's always things to do. I can always be doing a million things at the same time and I always feel overwhelmed. So I just like, okay, I'm gonna just take this time for Happy Journal. Um, so I have different people every week, so I think it's great to just be regular on this and make that a practice, a habit. Once a week we can do that for an hour.
Right.
You know, but yeah. So yeah, make that a habit of asking positive what if questions. And soon as you like even three positive what if questions, that will change that train. That will change that habit of thinking and looking for the negative.
Okay. Got it.
And I know in the beginning it can become like, oh, the habit, because it's not a habit anymore, the habit is to go to the negative. So just put some sticky notes. I have one right here. You see that what if? I don't know, it's probably
Okay.
backwards. I have it like in my bathroom mirror. I have it all over the place just to make it a habit of asking positive what if questions.
Yeah, it's important you said positive because I can ask those
Positive,
other
of
ones.
course, we ask those all day long, right?
Right.
What if they die tomorrow? Right?
Right.
That's a what if question you ask, right?
Right.
So, and that's what, the unconscious is just trying to keep you safe from the sudden unexpected things.
Right.
But life is unexpected. Otherwise it won't be no fun. Otherwise there
Right.
won't be any. So what if I can look for happy surprises? That's a positive
Oh,
what
that's
if
a
question.
great one.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Because there are happy surprises, but we're always like anticipating the negative surprises, the negative
Right.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
beautiful. I love that. What if happy surprises? That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So just put some sticky notes and doing that, you are catching that in the moment and you can call it tapping. It's like, this is tapping. I'm changing that to something positive. I'm reframing it. You
Right.
know, you notice that negative, like, I let it go, let it go, let it go. Peace. And then ask yourself three positive what if questions, at least, right? And
Right.
that can reframe that in the moment right away. That'll retrain your brain neurology.
Well,
So,
how about now at considering like a family situation and I go to well, they're going to be gone. Um, I'll be alone, again, I know it's all about me. Could you, can you give me like an idea to stimulate that happy questions? What if happy surprises is a great one? What if I get a
Yeah.
happy surprise? What others?
Yes. What if I can look for happy surprises? And the other thing when you start talking, I don't know what just popped to me is like, what if I can grateful to have a family right now? What if I can
Okay.
always be grateful for the family?
Oh, so that's
I
a
don't
great
know.
one. So what if I'm grateful for having my family?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, it just doesn't have to be technical. What if I'm grateful? A
What if
simple,
life, yeah, what if life is always changing? You know, that's life is change, right? Soon as
right,
we stop changing, we die.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
What if I can be grateful for being alive right now?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And you can even write those down on a, I don't know, 3x5 card and put it where you can see it all the time and you can just flip through those questions and write down more positive questions.
I love cliches. When I
Mm.
got sober, I used a lot of the cliches in AA, and they were very helpful. That's where I guided my mind to when I started the negative thinking. So this is really awesome. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not giving your unconscious mind a specific certain thing. You're just giving it a direction to go. When you
Right,
ask those questions, what if, you know, and gets that brain thinking and keeps it busy in the background while you can consciously do your happy thing.
right.
Yeah. Mhm.
So,
Yeah, definitely. And you can put those down in your happy journal, those what if questions.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you, Alicia, for bringing up that it's hard to feel happy because I'm quite a bit in the same situation. I
Mm.
think I've made plenty of things in my life, but I wonder if I really felt happiness, and joy, and not such a joyful person. And especially now, because when I was taking care of mom, I often felt frustrated and stuck, because I could not do what I wanted. And
Mm.
and so no, and so yeah, that's a great thing to work on feeling happiness and yeah, and thank you for everything you said, Srishti, because you
Yeah,
gave
no,
us a lot
I'm
of
totally with you. Yeah, it's a habit that we have. I go in those places sometimes and just noticing that's like, oh, and changing that, noticing what we're doing inside.
mm,
And sometimes I can just catch myself just walking around like I'm like carrying a burden of like 50 pounds on my shoulders or something. It's like, wait, what's wrong here? And just notice, as soon as I can notice that, it's like, oh, it's just a habit. There's, it's like, I don't need to do that.
mm,
Yeah. And then, and then, in that moment, looking for like what's good in my life right now,
mm,
you
Mm.
know, what
That's a
can I love
great one.
myself for? Yeah. What can I love myself for right now?
Oh,
Um, yeah. Because I've been through times where like I'm to die. I mean, there's nothing good in my life. It's like, there's no reason to live. And then just finding a small thing that you can love yourself for, that could be a big game changer. And
mm,
for me, it's like the light bulb switched just like going to my one of the times I went to Grand Canyon. And it's like I it's just like noticing it's like oh my God, and this could sound like egotistical here, and I'm presuming, but just giving my unconscious mind directions like, I am probably the only person, or I am the person who is more in love with Grand Canyon right now than anyone else here because I was so much happy. It's like that gave me, it's like, oh, I can love myself for that. I mean, it sounds goofy and silly, but that's all the unconscious mind needs. It's like, I am more in love with Grand Canyon here than anyone else. So I can love myself for that. And that
Right,
just, it's like, that gave me the reason to love myself and be happy. It's like it doesn't matter what else is going on in your life. I can love myself for that small thing. No matter how presumptuous or fake or made up it might be, I can love myself for that. Just a simple thing, you
right,
know, that you see a flower, it's like, I can love myself for loving this flower and it's beautiful, right?
right,
I can love myself for loving horses.
right.
And I'm saying that because of your picture, it's like I love horses and that's why I can love myself. It's those little things we can give to our unconscious mind to shift our perception of world, of our world. We can find a million things to feel unhappy about, sad about, and what if you can start looking for the things that you can love yourself for, that you can love life for. Because the other thing is a habit too, and then we learned that by watching other people, by life, by events. It's like it's safe. If I'm unhappy, I can be safe because then I won't get hurt.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
So it's just a habit. And I think it's when we do some we can when we can give ourselves that big reason to be happy, it's like, oh, I can always go to Grand Canyon, I can be happy. There's nothing that can stop me from being happy, you know?
Right.
Because I can bring sadness and unhappiness to Grand Canyon and make that place bad too. Or I can decide to no, I can be happy. I can just drive over to a place that I love the most right now. There's nothing stopping me from doing that, and I can be happy, you know? I can appreciate life, I can appreciate the beauty around me. I can appreciate nature. I can appreciate horses. I can appreciate flowers. I can appreciate the sunshine. And those are just about breaking that habit. Yeah.
And a part of me wants to say, is it possible? Because I've lived in the, opposite end of that, and I
Oh, yeah, I
feel
know.
it must be possible. It, it must be possible because
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely, all that is in the past, right?
is
Whatever we lived through, it's in the past.
and isn't this essentially the sort of this is there are no tigers? I mean, this is where how we got here. There's tigers. We're protecting ourselves, staying alive, surviving, and okay, now we're instead of just being the deer eating the grass or leaves and returning to peacefulness, I'm in the corner, rattled, depressed, crying or brutalizing myself with negativity. Um, this is kind of we're returning to eating the grass, being peaceful. This is where I tend to want to go to the extreme. I want to be laughing and bouncing off the walls, and I know that the that's not sustainable. But I do feel like that kind of sometimes in Robert's classes, he makes me laugh so much, and I could feel this outburst of laughter, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Right?
yeah, after
Yes.
having been the opposite. Um, I, is this going to be a class that we could play on repeat or no?
I didn't, I can put it up, and you can watch it again because I usually just stop the recording, but I have that automatic. But, since we were having a good conversation, I just kept it on and I can just upload it and you can listen to it. And if you don't mind having this for others to watch as well, I can just put it up on the group and you can watch it if that's going to be okay with you, Alicia and Bridget.
No problem for me. Mm.
Yeah, I'm great with it. Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's some good stuff here, and you can ask yourself the question, what if I can, what if, what if I can be the tiger? And then that being the tiger doesn't
Oh,
have to mean that you're preying on, um, weaker than you, but being the tiger means you are um, it's like stepping into, I am the queen of my queendom. I can be
mhm,
strong. I can step into my own power,
right.
you know?
That's a great what if question. What if I
That's
step
a
into
good,
my own power?
yeah, what if I can be the tigress?
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Because like in my memory changes, I gave my mom a tigress. Like in India, there's this goddess and she rides on the tiger, on a tiger and stuff. And my mom, she used to be in my mind the biggest victim and stuff, and I can still sometimes go to it, but I go back to this new memory of she is riding her tigress, she's powerful. And that doesn't mean that you're preying on other people. That means she is powerful and then she can have compassion for others. She can be in her power, that's the
Right.
opposite of being a victim. And
Oh,
she's
right.
powerful. Yeah. She is powerful. She's got her power. And then from that, she can have compassion for others. She can hold space for others. She can bring that, I don't know, the big heartedness, like enveloping others with her power, with her compassion, with her generosity,
Right.
because only when we feel powerful in our life, we can be generous and compassionate towards others too. But if we are living in this place that I am the deer that's going to get attacked anytime, we are living in a fear mindset. We are scared, and then we can't really have compassion for others. You know,
Right.
we are just always just looking out for ourselves. There is no space for compassion. And I totally know it. I am totally with you because when we are triggered, it's always we're looking out for ourselves, we're hurt, we're crying. Um, I know it very well. So it's just about changing our identity. Change it to what if I can be the tigress?
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I just
Mm.
don't, I've never been really truly happy. So this is really new territory for me. I'm
Yeah, so
excited
yeah,
and
definitely.
I want to, I know I think this is as valuable or as important to my goal as being there for Robert's mentorship classes because
Yeah,
this is my goal is to be able to be in happiness, in ease to, and I've never really done it. It's been kind of an artificial thing, I think. Get
yeah,
focused on to maybe achieving a goal or getting some materialistic item and the wait for it and then getting it and as soon as you get something then it's kind of like what's next, so there's this like
exactly.
flicker, so without this being able to be based in this as a base for life, yeah, I don't see happiness as being really possible. So this is really great. I'm so glad you have this class.
You're welcome. Yes, 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 definitely. That's why I'm doing it for, it's like to cultivate more happiness. Because, we can tap all day long, but if you're not cultivating more happiness, then we're still staying in that place. Our identity, I mean, we changed the past memories and stuff, but we have to take that into the future. You know, changing the memory is one thing, but if we don't change the habit of being that, yes, we change the memory first. Okay. So what did we learn from that? What is our new identity? Being happier, right?
Right,
Being more empowered. And so we have to now do something different. Because if
right.
we keep doing the same thing and change memory, it's not going to work. And that's why Robert has the happy journal. I think it's a powerful practice, which we all need to do more of.
Right, right,
But also, like in the beginning, when you said, "Oh, I don't, I have so many books. I don't want to have another book. I want to be." I just read recently somewhere or heard somewhere, when we start having the excuses, that means oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't have time. Those are our excuses that our unconscious mind comes up with to keep us safe, to keep us in
Oh,
the same
okay.
place. So that's just an excuse, right?
Right.
So just ask three positive what if questions on that.
Okay.
Yeah. What if I can have a new identity with this? What if Happy Journal can become the top book for me, the most important book for me?
Oh, right.
You know? So, yeah.
I've
So
got a
yeah, it's
session. I'm sorry. I
okay.
realize now it's after 12. I've got to leave for my
Oh,
session, but Srishti, I'll see you next week. And Brigitte, I hope to see you too.
Yes, yes, thank you. I will leave too. That was very interesting and uplifting. I feel much better already.
Nice.
Thank you so much,
you're welcome.
both of you. Thank you, Srishti.
You're available. I can't believe the whole hour just passed by. Thank you so much for asking those questions too, because it's always good. But yeah, I know you have a session, so I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Okay,
being here, Alicia and
bye
Brigitte.
bye.
See you next
Bye
week.
bye.
Bye. Bye bye.